What's going on, guys? Damocles here, and today I'm showing you some off-meta Dream Eater Gengar gameplay. I want to talk about this just because I want to give you guys some more options in case characters get nerfed in the future, or you just want to experiment with new builds. I just want to give my opinion on them. And I thought Dream Eater Gengar would be an interesting one because Gengar just got hit with a little bit of a nerf bat. And Dream Eater Gengar is actually like kind of fun and pretty powerful if you play him correctly. So I thought it would just be a fun game to show you. It's definitely not my best game by any means. It is a standard game because my opinion is that when I'm trying out something new and I don't know if it's actually going to be good, I don't want to put my team in a 4v5 if I'm in a Masters game. You know, like it happens in League of Legends sometimes where people take new characters or new picks into ranked immediately and get stomped. And I would just never want to accidentally like mess up someone's promotion from Ultra 5 into Master or from Veteran into Ultra, you know what I mean? So I try and do these experimental type picks in standard games as like a test first and then take them into Masters if I think they're really solid. So that is the current state of this game. Why would you bother picking Dream Eater Gengar? Well, obviously everybody knows Hex and Sludge is like the current go-to. It's been the go-to for a while because they were just the overwhelmingly powerful choices. But the thing is, with Shadow Ball, you can do a lot more damage early on with Gengar. You can have a lot more of an impact early on with Shadow Ball because they literally just buffed it. Like, they just doubled the damage on Shadow Ball. Like, basically doubled it. And so early on, you can see just like one Shadow Ball chunks them for a massive amount of HP and allows me to take fights that normally, if I'm going Hex Sludge Gengar, all I have at this point is Sludge Bomb, and you can't do anything if your lanes are getting ganked, right? Like, you're basically useless until you get that Hex. And then even once you do get that Hex, if you miss Sludge, then you're screwed. If you miss Hex, you're screwed. Shadow Ball allows you to have a much greater influence earlier on in the game. Now, I'm not saying that this is somehow better than Hex Sludge. I think Hex Sludge is amazing. I'm just trying to toss out to you potential options in the future if you want to experiment or you want to try it if Gengar gets nerfed. Machoke tries to invade me here. He does not get it. I try to pull him into the speed zone so I can kite him and just nail him with Shadow Balls, but my gut instinct tells me to walk away instead of trying to re-engage, so I do. Now I've got Shadow Ball Dream Eater. And for those of you that don't know, Shadow Ball reduces enemy special defense as well as doing a bunch of damage. And Dream Eater, the first hit puts people to sleep, and the second hit allows you to jump, basically teleport behind that person, do a chunk of damage, and heal yourself, but it also reduces the cooldown of Shadow Ball when it lands. So your burst combo is going to be Shadow Ball, Dream Eater, activate Dream Eater again, and then Shadow Ball again, and nothing, basically in a single like fight on a 1v1, nothing can survive that burst. Like at level 15, I think it's like just using those two abilities together, I believe it is like 8,300 damage single target in the span of a couple seconds. So it's much more of a single target focus build when it comes to your actual burst window rather than Hex where you are trying to spam all over the place. But you also get that added CC of like sleeping people, and you get that sustained damage from Shadow Ball where you don't necessarily have to just wait for Sludge Bomb. You don't have to wait for Hex to come on cooldown. You have that damage a little bit earlier on and more in a more sustained way. So it's just a different kind of way of playing Gengar. And you're going to see, like, I try and poke people down with the Shadow Ball before I go in. It has a really short cooldown. And then I will hit them with a Dream Eater if I'm trying to dive them or something like that. But it's just, it's kind of fun to play because nobody really plays Dream Eater Shadow Ball Gengar. Everybody plays Hex Sludge, so that's what everyone's expecting. So when you hit them with this massive burst, it's like pretty surprising. And you can see the cooldown's not that long, especially when you get to the higher levels. Pretty short cooldowns, especially on Shadow Ball, and especially when you're using Dream Eater in conjunction with Shadow Ball. The potential weaknesses of this build is just, you know, obviously in a team fight setting, if they're all grouped up together, Hex Sludge is going to be able to go and bounce around and nuke as many people as humanly possible. I mean, after the nerfs, you know, maybe the iframes are a little bit different, so you'll get hit a little bit more as Gengar when you're doing the Hex Sludge teleports, but it's definitely more of the AoE type build, whereas this one is you're going to be able to go output that sustained damage, and you're still going to have that burst. It's going to be hard hitting. It's just you have to pick your engages a little bit better. You can't just mash your head on the keyboard and hope that Hex like kills whatever target you're going after. You really have to aim Dream Eater. You have to aim Shadow Ball, and your target selection matters. But you do get some nice outplay potential because of the Dream Eater teleport. So you can go and land it on somebody, hit someone else, then teleport to that other target. Gives you a little bit of sustain, which kind of goes nicely with Shell Bell. For this particular build, by the way, I'm running Shell Bell, Special Attack Specs, and Wise Glasses. I think I just went for like a straight glass cannon build without Buddy Barrier. You can see the start of the damage output. Well, not the start, but you can see the damage output there. I wish Gardevoir wasn't there to take that kill just so you could see fully, but if I just land a Shadow Ball and a Dream Eater on someone at this point, they're basically done. And then it also seems like Dream Eater and Lick have this like hidden passive. I don't see anything about it in the description, but if you use them or you land them, it automatically makes Gengar's next attack an enhanced attack, and you should definitely include that when you're trying to calculate burst damage on a target, because at least at level 15, that accounts like your enhanced attack does like 857 damage, which is a lot of damage if you think about it. And so you want to be doing that all the time, and Dream Eater puts you in a great position to do that. This poor Pikachu here, you can see what happens. I go and I hit him with the first Shadow Ball, hit him with the Dream Eater, hit him with the second Shadow Ball, and then I do that enhanced attack, and he's just gone. There's nothing he can do. And it's really hard to have any counterplay towards that because it puts you to sleep, right? I would say also, just wanted to touch on it, I think that this is probably a little bit harder to play, obviously, because of the reasons I said earlier, where you're going and you have to actually like aim these abilities, right? Whereas like Sludge Bomb is just a nice circle on the ground, and Hex is just a nice circle on the ground that, like, you know, most people just let auto targeting take care of everything. With these, you really have to be aiming Shadow Ball. You have to be aiming Dream Eater, and I think the payoff is like pretty nice. Like, you get some really solid burst damage, and it surprises people. And the CC is also really useful too when you're trying to like help out teammates and stuff like that, or go for like catch opportunities. It's not like the other build where you have to land everything. You could just land Dream Eater and it'll do a massive amount of damage. You could just land Shadow Ball and it'll do a massive amount of damage. Like, if you miss one or the other, you're not totally screwed like you are with the Hex Sludge build. But again, you have to aim it, so it's a little bit more difficult. Probably requires a little bit more skill because it is more skill shot oriented. But I think it's a pretty fun way to play, and I also think that if you are planning to play Gengar in the lane, this is a much more viable laning option. Now, I'm not saying that you should not do Hex Sludge in lane. I mean, you really shouldn't be playing Gengar in lane at all, but I think that as far as like actual laning presence, this build would take precedence over Hex Sludge until you go and you get Hex online and you're able to nuke people down. Now, these people are behind, so they do the only thing that they can do and try and force a 50-50 rush on Zapdos. But I know I'm just going to sit there and try and throw Sludge Bombs, focus down the Greninja so that he can't go and Surf Execute, and we end up picking it up, go over, and this is when you're going to see a bit better of the actual Dream Eater Shadow Ball burst, because now I don't have to worry so much about winning the game. I can just kind of style on people a little bit, so I'm just waiting. I'm looking for people to be straggling, and this is where we go and we get some nice Dream Eater Shadow Ball hits. You can see the full damage rotation. I don't even have to land Shadow Ball there. He just melts. I think the next target is Pikachu. Unfortunately for him, Slowbro comes over and tries to save him, but I go and I land the Dream Eater on him anyway, hit him with the other Sludge Ball and the enhanced attack. He goes down too. You can just see that burst damage is insane. Same thing happens to this Venusaur, this poor Venusaur. I think I missed the Shadow Ball. I just landed the Dream Eater into the Shadow Ball, and that basically nukes him. It's just a lot of damage. I hope you guys found this video to be like interesting or useful. I know it's not like necessarily the best choice, it's not the best build possible, but I want to give you guys just something to think about in the future if anything changes with Gengar, or, you know, the meta changes. I want to just toss you out something to think about. It's definitely not my best game, but I wanted to show you the benefits and the well, the pros and the cons, I guess, of running this build. And that's basically it. That's the entire build. It's a pretty interesting one. Let me know if you guys want to see more of these off-meta picks. I really like playing them. I've been trying to do some stuff with Venusaur and different Charizard builds and Talonflame builds as well. So if you see me in some standard matches, you know, say what's up. But that's going to be it for me, guys. Let me know if you like this. Drop it in the comments what you think about Dream Eater Gengar. And you guys have a good day. Damocles out.